Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are going to be putting the perfect player on every NBA team back in their prime. So for me to explain that, guys, I did a video similar to this about 5 or 6 months ago. Do not get this one confused with that one. On that one, I was taking a player that would be like fun to watch them back in their prime. I think the best way I can kind of sum this up is on the Los Angeles Lakers, I put Dwight Howard back in his prime. But for today's video, we are doing like the most strategically sound player, a guy that would make the team that much better. Now, would Dwight Howard make the Lakers better in his prime? Yes, he would. But he's already having a good season, man. So there's actually a different player on that team that I think would make the Lakers strategically better if he was in his prime, guys. So yeah, before we get going on this video, before we go through all these rosters right here, if you guys don't mind doing me that quick favor and dropping that crispy like, trying to hit 1,000 likes. And as always, man, if you're one of the 50% of people that watch my videos, they're not subscribed, if you can please hit that subscribe button, guys. I'm trying to get 200 brand new subscribers today. Thank you guys all so much for that. And yeah, let me know in the comment section below, who is one player that would be like the perfect player on your favorite team to put back in the primes? Let me go ahead and go through the roster and kind of explain myself, because I know people are going to be like, yo, Crispy, why'd you pick this guy instead of this guy, for whatever reason. So yeah, this is all about like positional need and just kind of like, maybe like age or contracts are a factor, all sorts of stuff. So for the Philadelphia 76ers, not really a lot of options out there. So ultimately I ended up going with Al Horford. The reason I went with Al Horford is just because, yes, he's notoriously played center throughout his career, but back in the Atlanta Hawks, at least he was, more athletic, a bit quick on his feet. It seems like sometimes on the 76ers, due to his old age and playing out of position, he's a bit clunky at times. So I'm hoping by him being younger in this case, he'll work out better with this very quick 76ers team. For the Milwaukee Bucks, I decided to go with a prime Kyle Korver. Now, I know he's age 35, but this is the one that actually did make the All-Star team with the Atlanta Hawks. He'd be the absolute perfect shooting guard to play alongside Giannis. I mean, this man's probably shooting 10 to 15 threes a game and knocking down every single one of them, man. So yeah, I thought he'd be the perfect player to strategically put in his prime. Hopefully it's making a little bit more sense now, right? Cause I could with a Brook Lopez, but Lopez has been completely fine for this Bucks team, where Kyle Korver actually gives them more of a need at the shooting guard spot. For the Chicago Bulls, there was not a lot of options here for guys to put back in their primes, so ultimately I did go with Thaddeus Young. Back, age 25 is when he had his career high. It was like 17 points per game. Thaddeus throughout his career was always just a good, serviceable, dependable player. And when he went to the Bulls, on that 2-year, $27 million contract, he just isn't that anymore. So hopefully this helps the Bulls get in the right direction by having him actually in his prime. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, you gotta go with Kevin Love, right, man? Because, the Cavaliers have a good thing going in their backcourt with Colin Sexton. Andre Drummond's a nice center. You put Kevin Love back in his prime, it gives this team, a nice stretch big to really build their team around. And Kevin Love, despite being good throughout the years, I just feel like this era is where he would really shine the most if he was to, go back in his prime days. For the Boston Celtics, I went with the Utah Jazz, Gordon Hayward. Another team that not really have a lot of great options just because, their team is already so good as is. And a lot of young guys towards the bottom of the bench. But Gordon Hayward, you put him back in his absolute prime. Yes, he's been good for the Boston Celtics, no doubt. He's had a lot of really good all-star moments. But at the same time, that Gordon Hayward on the Utah Jazz, that dude was a whole different monster out there pre-injury. And really, you get him playing this consistently every single night. We already talked about the Celtics contending, but they become, almost like a favorite in the Eastern Conference with him and Jason Tatum and Kemba Walker. For the Los Angeles Clippers, this one, is a little bit on the cheesy side. It is going to be Joakim Noah. Why is it cheesy? Because he's officially on the roster, but he has not actually played a game with them yet. But he was officially listed. He has a contract and everything. So, yeah, man, the reason this works out nicely is just because Joakim Noah is a very low volume type of player that gives you high intensity, great defense, defense player of the year type of stuff. And with him rotating, with Joakim Noah being the energy guy that brings the defense, Montrez being the energy guy that brings the offense, all of a sudden you have a two-headed, rotation at the center position. It works out perfectly. And realistically speaking, with these guys' switchabilities, they could probably play on the court at the same time, and you would be completely fine, and your defense would just be that much better for it. For the Memphis Grizzlies, I had to go with, there was not any options, man. So what I did is I went with Josh Jackson, put him back in his rookie season where he had promise to him. He was like a 78 overall player back then. Had like a pretty good scoring season at 13 points per game. So, I mean, I guess with Josh Jackson, at least this is the rookie version where you don't know the bad yet. So hopefully, with a different coaching staff playing with John Morant, hopefully he could have get swung in the right direction, man. It's the best I got in this case, right? Because Valanciunas is better than what he's ever been, I believe, in the NBA. For the Atlanta Hawks, had to go with Vince Carter. I mean, VC is unfortunately going to be retiring now, but I just imagine how VC, can you imagine a backcourt Vince Carter and Trae Young? It's absolutely perfect, guys. It's absolutely perfect, and it would have been really cool to see, a prime Vince Carter run with this young blood Atlanta Hawks team. Unfortunately, we're never going to see that, but yeah, man, I mean, we can see it in 2K, right? For the Miami Heat, I had to go with Andre Iguodala, so it's really cool they ended up, trading for Iguodala and everything. Unfortunately, he is very old now, but Andre Iguodala in his prime, this is the one actually from the Philadelphia 76ers at the age of 25. He fits in perfectly, man, and I would have loved to see him in his prime playing with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. This defense is going to be absolutely deadly. I don't see teams putting up over 80 points per game against this squad right there. I mean, they probably will, but yeah. I guess another guy I probably could have went with Goran Dragic, but he's been fine too for the Miami Heat this season, so yeah, Iguodala made the most sense. For the Charlotte Hornets, Batum, back when he was young, Portland Trailblazer days, before the bitch-ass contract, wasn't really anybody else in this case to go with. I guess I could have went with a Willie Hernangomez, who low-key was actually a really nice player, just for some reason teams gave up on him, right? Next up, we got the Utah Jazz, and it's got to be the man, Mike Conley, who was, traded to this team with the mindset that he was going to be that all-star caliber player, went to the Jazz, and that was the year he decided to, I don't really want to say fall off completely, but definitely is not the caliber of player he was on the Memphis Grizzlies. So this hopefully should be a big-time game changer for the Utah Jazz. For the Sacramento Kings, once again, a team with not a lot of great choices, so I decided to go with a younger Jabari Parker. Not that he's old now or anything like that, but this year, 2016, 2017, technically his prime pre-injury, Jabari Parker was scoring he was a problem, man. Actually looking a little Carmelo Anthony-esque out there at times. So yeah, he's going to be at the small forward spot, 84 overall for the Kings. For the New York Knicks, had to go with a rookie, Dennis Smith Jr., 80 overall player, guys. This is somebody that was showing so much promise on the Dallas Mavericks. Ended up, not working out with Luka Doncic, got traded to the Knicks, wasn't really giving it a chance. I know he had a lot of emotional, personal stuff going on, too, that's really affected probably his mindset. But yeah, I mean, Dennis Smith was somebody that they traded Kristaps Porzingis for, essentially, man. So it's if he can return to form, become that great scoring point guard he was his rookie season, we got him on, on that, it just gives the Knicks somebody to build with, right? For the Los Angeles Lakers, guys, so as you can see, I went with headband. Well, he doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't have the headband on here, man. I went with a young Rajon Rondo. Like I was saying, Dwight Howard is playing his role perfectly. We don't need a 90 or 96 overall, whatever, Dwight Howard. Rondo works out perfectly in his prime on this team, man, because they really do need a point guard. They need some backcourt players. Think about LeBron James getting older and stuff like that. He actually came to the Lakers with the mindset that he was not going to be the ball-dominant guard or the ball-dominant player the entire time. So by getting Rondo, he takes care of the point guard duties, takes some, minutes off of LeBron James' legs and stuff like that, and just allows LeBron to play in a more dominant way. So yeah, Rondo, of course, has the championship ring and everything too, so he should be great. I've also heard a lot of Laker fans say that Rondo's been horrible for this team. For the Orlando Magic, I went with a rookie, Michael Carter-Williams, former Rookie of the Year, by the way, guys. Believe it or not, man. So yeah, this guy was actually an absolute beast his rookie season, averaging 17, 6, and 6. And then, he got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, ultimately speaking. I don't remember why. I don't know why they traded him away. And yeah, it's been a fall off ever since. So hopefully this one, combined with Markelle Fultz, the Magic find themselves their point guards of the future. For the Dallas Mavericks, there was not a lot of choices, so I went with a prime JJ Barea. This was just a guy that was a really good luck charm for the Dallas Mavericks championship run with Dirk Nowitzki. A guy that can be a big-time spark, any given minute. I mean, he's 6 foot, bro, but he plays like he's 7 foot, so he's an absolute beast, guys. I love JJ Barea from back in the day. For the Brooklyn Nets, DeAndre Jordan, I mean, they're good with Kevin Durant, they're good with Kyrie Irving, didn't really need any more scoring, they just need that guy in the center spot, and DeAndre Jordan is a bit older now, losing some athleticism, so a younger, more athletic DeAndre Jordan works in perfectly with this team, and yeah, it either allows them to maybe package some of these guys for, like a Bradley Beal or somebody like that, or you have probably the strongest bench in the entire NBA. For the Denver Nuggets, had to go with Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap is definitely out-aging the rest of the Denver Nuggets squad. He's the one player on the team that just is once his contract's up, he's probably gone, and the Nuggets are doing something else with that power forward position. But yeah, in his prime, great scoring player out there, great defense. He's still playing good to these days, or to this day, so I hate to say that he's out-aging everybody, But I mean, you know, sooner rather than later, he's going to retire or fall off a little bit. So this one works out a little bit better. He's still 32, but this is the year he made the All-Star team. For the Indiana Pacers, I had to go with Victor Oladipo, guys. There was not really a lot of other good options out there anyway. And the thing about Victor Oladipo, this is him in his prime pre-injury. He could still return to this, no doubt, but at least in this simulation, it is a guaranteed thing. And then for the Pelicans, I decided to go with a younger JJ Redick. I mean, an 83 overall player. And just JJ Redick with not as many minutes on his legs. Get that jump shot up, bro. He's got like a 96 three-point shot. Yeah, could either start or come off the bench behind Drew Holiday, either way. But yeah, just kind of fits in a little bit better than the current older JJ Redick. For the Pistons, I did not go Derrick Rose. He's having a great season, man. The Pistons need a prime Blake Griffin. You know, I don't care if it's the Clippers one, which is the one I actually went with, or if it's, you know, the one from a year ago that made the All-Star team. Regardless, the Pistons need somebody like that. So by getting the Clippers younger one, fits in perfectly with this rebuild, guys. Like Blake Griffin, Christian Wood, that's a perfect front court. Works out Luke Kennard. And yeah, could have used Derrick Rose too, but I mean, Derrick Rose is playing so good this season. I did not want to waste that prime spot on him, despite, you know, I've done that in the video before anyway. Trying to be a little bit different on this one. For the Toronto Raptors, Marc Gasol. I mean, I still think Marc Gasol could be as dominant as Memphis Grizzlies days. I just think he decided, you know, for the betterment of the team, take a step back. But this one's not going to. This one is going to try to dominate and be the best player on the team. For the Houston Rockets, I went with Tyson Chandler. The reason I went with Tyson is obviously with him, you're not running a small ball lineup, but he's so athletic that he could actually run with the small ball guys out there, and it would work out completely fine. But I do think the Houston Rockets, you know, getting a guy like this, you can go out there and still start PJ Tucker, but you have a good 7'1" center that gives you a sure promising things to go up against the likes of the Jokic's, Karl-Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid's come playoff time. For the San Antonio Spurs, I went with a prime LaMarcus Aldridge. You know, LaMarcus Aldridge is a great player, man. It's just like it's getting to that point on the Spurs where they need to decide, you know, hey, are we going to hold on to Aldridge or is it time to rebuild? In this case, they can build around LaMarcus Aldridge. Works out perfectly. For the Phoenix Suns, I went with a younger Minnesota Timberwolves Ricky Rubio, because Rubio, back in the day, like, this guy was really looked upon as being like the next great point guard, had a lot of promise out there, had a lot of really good seasons for the Timberwolves, you know, just a good all-around player, good defensively, but ultimately he ended up having a lot of injury issues, so this one is just more in his prime, not as injury-prone, fits in more age-wise with the team, and yeah, 85 overall, definitely can't beat that. I mean, you can, but, you know, it's good in this case. For the OKC Thunder, I went with a prime Chris Paul, and the reason I went with him, guys, is for one, there was not really a lot of good choices. I guess I could have went with Gallinari, but he's fine enough, but the reason is because Chris Paul just had an all-star season. Chris Paul has changed the landscape of the OKC Thunder. Not really exactly, but just like he's been playing great for them. And a lot of people have the mindset that, you know, that the Thunder need to trade Chris Paul because, you know, he's getting older, he needs to contend, and they need to just continue rebuilding. In this case, they get the all-star point guard that fits in with the age range, and him with Shea in the backcourt, I mean, it's going to be dominant for the next 10 years. For the Timberwolves, I went with James Johnson. James Johnson, back on the Miami Heat when he was in his prime, was a guy that could knock down a three-point shot, but he brought you a lot of toughness, grit, and grindness, just would not back down, which I think this team is really lacking at that power forward spot in the first place. He is really essentially perfect to play alongside Cat. Like, it's really perfect, man. Low-volume guy, but it's going to get the job done no matter what. And then for the Portland Trail Blazers, had to go with the man, Carmelo Anthony, guys. Went with age 29 Melo right here. I mean, you all know Melo. No introduction needed, right? He's going to get even more buckets with Damian Lillard. This team would be absolutely fun as hell to watch. For the Golden State Warriors, I went with a prime Draymond Green. The current one is currently a 79 overall player. You know, a lot of people say he's been exposed now that he doesn't really have great players around him. But in this case, man, we got him back to his prime form, playing with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. We all know what this big three can do right here. Yeah, they can do some damage. And then finally, we do have the Washington Wizards with a prime John Wall. It feels like John Wall's been like out of the NBA for 10 years, but he's still in the NBA. He does not have the greatest contract, but assuming he never got injured, I really do believe that between him and Bradley Beal, they would be running the Eastern Conference. I mean, obviously not like winning it, but they would be up there as one of the better teams, man. So yeah, I have all the lineups all set and ready to go. As far as the team I want to follow, I want to see how prime Carmelo Anthony does on the Portland Trail Blazers. So I'm going to go ahead, simulate this NBA season, and we're going to see how these prime players affect the NBA. And yeah, see who can win that NBA championship. Okay, so we are at the end of the regular season. The Portland Trail Blazers just got a record of 50-31. One more game against Joakim Noah and the LA Clippers. I still feel bad about that one, but hey, it's fine, man. It's on the roster. Finished the L on the season. So we got a prime Chris Paul on the OKC Thunder getting the MVP at 29 points, 4 rebounds, 11 assists per game. Ja Morant, Rookie of the Year. Dennis Schroeder, 6-man. Draymond as Defensive Player. Yes, sir. Luka as Most Improved. And Nick Nurse as Coach of the Year for the Toronto Raptors. All-NBA first team, we got CP3 making it. All-NBA second, Vince Carter. All-NBA third with Blake Griffin and Ricky Rubio. Damn, I gotta see Ricky's stats, man. Yo, 16, 5, and 12. He was not doing that shit on the damn Minnesota Timberwolves. That is for sure. But hey, that's why I love these videos, guys. Just because, like, you never know what is going to happen, right? Alrighty, so playoffs, we got OKC, Memphis, Portland against Houston, Clippers against Denver, and the Lakers against the Spurs. So LaMarcus Aldridge carrying that team. And then we got Toronto against Kevin Love, Boston, Milwaukee, Philly against Orlando. So the Orlando Magic really making a bounce back. And then the Brooklyn Nets against the Miami Heat right there. Real quick, let's go to the player stats on the season. I'm going to kind of scroll through these a bit quickly. So if you do want to pause and see how your favorite team/player did, I will try to make sure that every single player does show up. 17 for Kyle Korver. Thaddeus Young, third leading scorer over there. Kevin Love, beastin', but not as much as I thought. Gordon Hayward, leading scorer over Jason Tatum. Where's Joakim Noah? I'm getting the 12 points and 2 blocks and over a steal a game. Very nice. Josh Jackson at 13. I might have said Justin Jackson earlier. There's a very high chance that I said that. Pretty much, man. Jimmy Butler pretty much is this era's Iguodala now that I think about it. Maybe that comes off as disrespectful. Definitely don't mean it like that, but just my thoughts and opinions. Where's Jabari? 18 points. There we go. Dennis Smith, leading scorer. Love seeing that. Rondo at 14 and 11 with his 2 steals per game. Michael Carter Williams going back to his old school Rookie of the Year days. Love it. JJ Barea at 12. DeAndre Jordan with the double-double and 2 blocks I saw. Got that prime Paul Millsap. Oladipo back at 19, 5, and 4. JJ Redick at 17. Blake Griffin 23 and 11 with 4 assists. But yeah, we also couldn't make the playoffs, though, could we, man? Still couldn't make the playoffs. Hey, that's all right. We don't need the playoffs. We'll take Anthony Edwards in the first round. No, it's probably not going to happen. We'll probably get like the 6th pick, and we'll probably end up drafting Stanley Johnson 2.0 or something like that, right? All right, we are back to the Portland Trail Blazers, guys. Hopefully you got to see your favorite team and player. But yeah, as far as my predictions for who is going to win it all, I mean, it's hard for me to vote against the Clippers in this case. But I think I'm going to go with Chris Paul, guys. I think Chris Paul wins his first ring on the OKC Thunder, guys. He's going to get it done here, man, with him and Shea, Steven Adams. I mean, come on. He's already dominating at the age of like 46 or something like that. Spurs are gone with LaMarcus Aldridge. The Bucks are gone in the first round with a prime Kyle Korver. Was not expecting them to be an outing that early. Memphis is gone. I'm surprised they even low-key made it with, Josh Jackson. But it was the 8th seed, so no big deal with that. Portland gone with Carmelo. That's sad. Cleveland gone. So we got Toronto, Boston, Brooklyn, Philly, Lakers, Clippers, OKC, and Houston. OKC definitely the big surprise of this entire video here, guys. See if they can beat the Houston Rockets, Chris Paul's former team. Celtics are gone with Gordon Hayward. Damn, man. Brooklyn Nets gone, Houston Rockets gone, and the Clippers have been eliminated by the Lakers. Wow, we have quite the matchups here, man. Simulate round, see who makes it. And going to the finals is going to be the Lakers against the Toronto Raptors. Marc Gasol, Headband Rondo, and LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. They got Pascal Siakam over on Toronto. Simulate round, who's going to win? Oh, man, the winner is going to be... No surprises here. The Los Angeles Lakers. You add a player like Rondo, just what he can bring as a captain of a team. Yeah, I mean, I probably should have predicted them. The Lakers always do good in these type of videos regardless, man. But Marc Gasol still beasted out there. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And the simulation's always fun, but I really like just like developing these rosters and just kind of talking about it like I do in the beginning. That's really my favorite part of these videos. But yeah, man, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.